As a soldier, I know the unforeseens of one's professional career are there, but too heavy, probably beyond the capacity of man. When we all started, we have heard some of our colleagues who died right when we were there as second lieutenants even. And gradually, we were getting trimmed down and some facing greater challenges. So at the time I was arrested, I always learned to look at my environment. And I always like to think about those who have gone to war and came back deformed. That could have been me. And some were there in service, got deformed and forgotten. And they have rendered selfless services to the country. While on the other hand, you also, as I believe there is this individual destiny, I believe God Almighty that set me forth to be in the military. It's the same God that continues to take care of me while I render selfless services. So I always turn on to Him with zeal, with high spirit. And it doesn't matter the ugly faces we were subjected to, physical torture of all sorts, psychological torture to me, to the family, even to the children, even to my parents. Because initially my father was subjected to what you may not believe. And they were bringing them to me so that they can enjoy the punishment inflicted on my father. I'm believing that that was to dampen my spirit. But thank God Almighty for the belief with which our parents brought us up, and the belief and trusting in God Almighty, irrespective of situation, that kept us going. And to me, I have the resolve that it doesn't matter what, it doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter the situation. To get us broken is one hell of a task that any person might undertake. You might delay us, you might inflict whatever you want, but what God Almighty wants is exactly what will happen at the end of the day. And if I call myself a soldier or a man, I should be prepared for such unforeseens of life. And I get going actually without worry. I believe in the course of the persecution, a time will come when man will understand that he does not and cannot define and own tomorrow. And the time came, and here we are, thank God Almighty. Man is saddled with limitations. Time and events have been the rail clearly defined by God Almighty for man to use. You wake up every day with plans and dreams. You cannot accomplish all. The world, indeed mankind, is there with higher desires but have limited resources. The 7 billion people on earth have mountains and mountains, or planets and planets of desires and their wishes in their dreams. But we are here, saddled with what is available with us in the world. You utilize what you see, and then in seeing whatever you have, you also can only utilize what has come into you. So between what we have and what is still in the air comes the struggles and activities of man, saddled or multiplied by time and events. So I have not, and I cannot say that there were things I could have done that I couldn't do. But there are things I wish I can do, looking at time and events tomorrow. My doctrine, personal, is that of looking at the time tomorrow to make the difference from what yesterday was all about, and all for the common good of man.